It's time to check in on the pulse of the fan base and ask them how are they reacting to Wemby setting the goal for the Spurs pretty high next season, postseason, and ask this fan, why are some fans kind of still bashing the Spurs?
You are Locked On Spurs, your daily San Antonio Spurs podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hey, this is Chris Sabat, and you're listening to Locked On Spurs with Jeff Garcia.
Welcome back to Locked On Spurs right here on the Locked On NBA Network. I'm your host, Jeff Garcia, Spurs writer for Ken's 5 San Antonio. Glad to have you back. Hey, follow me on Twitter at JeffGSpursZone. You all made the right choice, the smart choice, coming back here to Locked On Spurs. Available on the Ken's 5 Plus app, Google Play, Stitcher, iTunes, Spotify, YouTube. The list goes on and on. Make sure to subscribe right now. Hey, what are we talking about today? Hey, it's another fan episode. As the season's getting closer, it's time to start bringing the fans a little bit more periodically. So we're going to do that today, right here on this episode. Our fan is going to represent the fan base on a couple of topics. One, how are the fans reacting to Wemby saying the Spurs or hoping the Spurs make the postseason next season? We talked about that in the last episode. Let's hear what the fans have to say. Do they expect it as well? Do they think Wemby is, well, slow down, Wemby? What are they saying about what Wemby had to say? Also, if you haven't noticed on social media, there is a segment of Spurs fans that are bashing the team. Yeah, there still are. We're going to ask our guests, why does that still exist? What happened to the excitement for next season? Why does that pocket of fans are still chirping and getting under the skin of a majority of the Spurs fan base? All that, and including a contest. Yeah, our guest is going to give a contest announcement and how you can win a fun time with a bunch of Spurs fans. So stay tuned for that. But hey, before we bring in our fan guest, I want to talk to you a little bit about the countdown. It's on. Can you believe it? In about 3 weeks, the Spurs season is going to start. In 3 weeks. That's preseason. That's the regular season. That's training camp. Media day is fast approaching. And buckle up. Buckle up. It's going to be great. It's going to be fun. It's going to be exciting. Is it going to be a river parade at the end of it all? No, probably not. But it's going to give you a glimpse of what can be soon in the future. And that's thing you got to keep in perspective as you enter this season. Try not to get buried too much in the hype. And I get it if you're falling for it. I totally get it. Wemby alone is enough to get you excited for what could possibly be a very fun season. Him and KJ and Devin and Trey and Sohan and the list goes on and on. Yeah, I'm excited too. But I'm also realistic that this team still has some room to grow. I had a chance to talk to Zach Collins recently. And even he said that, hey, they're having these off-season voluntary mini camps, if you will, to get ready for the season. He even said it himself that this team is still young, and you got to keep that in mind. Do they have veterans? Technically, yes. KJ's a veteran. He's entering year 5. Devin, same thing. Zach, same thing. There are veterans on the squad, but collectively, still got a bunch of teenagers on this roster. Wemby's a 19-year-old. Don't forget about that. And they're still trying to find their way, find their path. Now, look, they're going to take a tremendous leap collectively next season. Will it be enough to make a playoff run? Probably not. Will it be enough to make a play-in run? Maybe. That's definitely a possibility. But as you go on this ride with the Spurs, keep this in mind. That patience you had last season, going through that tank season, you might have to exercise it again this upcoming season. Perhaps you don't give them as easy a pass, if you will, on losses. Perhaps Spurs fans can be a little critical if they string some 2-3 losses in a row, but nevertheless, you're going to have to exercise that patience. So enjoy the ride. It's going to be fun. And yeah, expect this team to have their ups and downs. Hopefully they have more ups than downs this upcoming season. So please, keep that in mind moving forward. All right, let's go and bring in our guest. Once again, he's going to be repping the fan base on a couple of topics. You can see on your screen right now. What are they thinking about Wemby? He set a goal. Wemby wants postseason. He has postseason dreams in year 1. So yeah, Wemby, we'll get you the fans, what they're going to be saying, and much, much more. Let's go and bring in our guest. He is Chris Leija. Let's see, where is the man?
Oh,
there's Chris.
What's up, man? How you doing today, Jeff?
Chris is making his second appearance on Locked On Spurs, representing the fan base on a fan episode. He was more than excited to come on, and I know he's chomping at the bit for two reasons: one, to announce that contest later on, and two, to go at those fans that are just kind of bashing the team. I know you're like this right now. You're like, oh, man. let me at him, man.
I'm gonna be respectful and polite to these guys, even though we don't agree.
Yeah, the Locked On Spurs is Disney Plus. When you can go on Alamo City Podcast and go at them if you want.
Yeah.
But welcome back.
Go
ahead.
I don't represent all fans. I don't want people to start thinking, oh, Chris is saying this, saying that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let y'all know what I see on the socials, and we'll go from there. I'll give you my opinion on a lot of things, but don't take my opinion to heart.
And I hope you give your opinion as well as what you feel as collectively the fan base is feeling.
Oh yeah,
just what are you seeing? What the skinny is on those two topics. Make sure to follow Chris on Twitter. You see his Twitter handle. It's Leija3. He's also with MCS General Contracting. I hear a rumor that Clayface gives y'all hands every day because he feels that clay is better than concrete. Is that true?
Man, ain't nothing better than concrete. Ain't nothing stronger or harder than concrete. Clayface, he's too soft. He can't handle his technique.
Oh anyway. Man, I suspect Clayface may come at you on the social soon. So keep an eye on that.
We'll be ready for him.
Exactly.
Just like all these fans on Twitter, we're always ready.
Absolutely. Again, he is with MCS General Contracting, and we thank him for making another episode right here with us. So, Chris, let's dive into it before we hit the first break here. And Wemby, you heard already, he spoke to French media. He said that he's hoping to see the Spurs team make the playoffs next season, and he's hoping he can guide that. We'll get to your opinion in the second segment, but what did the fans collectively have to say when they read that news that Wemby sees postseason dreams?
Man, honestly, it seemed like it was kind of split down the middle. You had, of course, your diehard fans that are saying, you know what, let's go, let's get it. What else is he going to say?
Right, exactly.
Oh, I want to miss the postseason. I'm okay with having it. No. He wants to get after it. You can tell he's a competitor, and the fans are excited. And then you have another side where they're thinking, oh, this guy, he's crazy. There's no way the Spurs make the postseason. There's not enough weapons around him. The front office isn't doing enough to get him to that point. But it's a long season, man. It's 82 games. You never know what's going to happen. You never know what Pop and RC are going to do. They might make a call, make a trade. Who knows? I'm excited. When he said that, I was like, yes, let's do it. I got my bets already locked in before the season started. So they make the postseason, I'm winning. Let's get it.
No, go ahead.
But a lot of the fans are excited. That's what you want to hear from your franchise player, is him saying, we're going to make the postseason. That's my goal. That's my end goal. And of course, that's what every fan wants to see, is the Spurs make the postseason, because it's been a while. Feels like forever. We got used to 20 years straight of just killing it, and then now we had some bad years, but it's okay. But fans are excited. I'm excited. So I mean, let's just get it. We're, like you said, 3 weeks away.
Yeah, this offseason, felt long, but it felt fast at the same time. It was very weird. But, when Wemby said that, I'm glad he did. Hopefully that's a message to the rest of the team. And I hope that he's taking the reins of kind of a leadership role, even though he's 19 years old, to let this team know that he's coming in with a mindset of racking up W's and trying to avoid those L's. Now, look, is it going to be a difficult season to get to that? Probably, yeah. There's going to be a chemistry adjustment period. Wemby's going to have his personal adjustment period. The players, last season, Chris, we saw them kind of take bigger roles, but maybe some of the roles are going to be reduced because of the big man that's coming in right now. So there's still an adjustment period. Do you think fans are going to be forgiving about the Spurs as next season during this adjustment period?
I feel like for the most part, most fans are going to be okay. Let's take it game by game, month by month, and go from there. You're going to have some that are going to. Some people expect, the Spurs to just dominate off the bat. Yeah. But like you said, he's 19. We're still a young team. Like Zach Collins, Keldon, and Vassell, only 5 years in the league. And the 5 years that they've been in the league with the Spurs, they haven't been the best.
Right.
But you're hoping with Wemby coming in and him having that ambition, that leadership drive in him, that it helps get the other guys where they need to be. And of course, it all comes down to chemistry, like you said. That's the number one thing. Are these guys gonna mix together?
Right.
Are they gonna work? What's gonna happen? I think like I said, we got to be a little patient. But of course, I think everybody agrees the end goal is let's make the playoffs. Let's make a run. The race for safes. That hashtag is back, dude. I mean, it's back. And it's more believable now. We were saying it for years, and it's like, but now it's the race for safe is back. It might not be year one, it might not be year two. That's what some people were saying too when he said, it might take some time, and it's true. It might take some time, but who knows, man? The league is crazy, and we just gotta take it game by game, and just go from there.
He is Chris Leija. Follow him on Twitter at CLeija3. You see it on your screen right now. When we get back, we're going to ask him now more questions about the playoff dreams that Wemby have. And I'm going to ask him a big question. Do you think he or the fan base will be shocked if this team actually does pull it off and gets a playoff seed? Right here on Locked On Spurs. But before we continue with Chris Leija on this fan episode of Locked On Spurs, I want to talk to you about Jace Medical. Look, don't be caught unprepared. Everyone should be empowered to care for themselves and their loved ones during the unexpected. That's where Jace Medical comes in. Jace Medical handles everything from the online evaluation to licensed pharmacy medication delivery and ongoing consultation and care. Look, Jace has the Jace case, and that provides 5 life-saving antibiotics for emergency use. All it takes to get a Jace case is to fill out a simple online form. And in some cases, you jump into a quick call with one of their board-certified physicians. You get ongoing care from their physicians on any treatment-related questions. Doctor created, doctor recommended. I already got my Jace case, and let me tell you, that thing came stuffed with life-saving medication. They even give you a really nice case so you can store it. All the medication have proper instructions, when to take it, how many to take it, even the warning signs of when you should be able to be taking it. So they have it all set out for you. Very friendly, very user-friendly. It is the Jace case. Look, with the pandemic and uncertainty and, supply chain issues, you don't want to be caught left, with your hands down. That's where the Jace case comes in to help with your medical needs. Look, you want to be prepared more now than ever. Jace Medical is simple. Again, you go online, you fill out a form, then you get a prescription of life-saving medication delivered right to your door. The Jace case gives you peace of mind so that you're not just hoping that you have access to medication in an emergency, that you actually have it on hand, ready to go. Save more than $360 right now by getting these life-saving medications with Jace Medical, plus an additional $20 off by using my code Locked On at checkout at jacemedical.com. That's JASEMEDICAL.com. Everyone should be prepared for themselves and their loved ones. That's where you should get the Jace case. And we're back right here on Locked On Spurs on a fan episode of Locked On Spurs with that big guy right there. He is Chris Leija. He's repping the fan base and, of course, his opinions on several topics about the silver and black. Hey, thanks for making Locked On Spurs your first listen each and every day. Tomorrow's show, we'll likely be talking Spurs and maybe Rockets. Could Locked On Rockets be making an appearance? That team up north, that's talking mess. That's talking mess, Chris. Maybe
you got to be careful with them.
Are going to be coming on Locked On Spurs soon. Maybe tomorrow. We'll know. We'll see. But we'll keep you hanging there. But we're talking about all things silver and black on this fan episode. Chris and I were discussing Wemby and that lofty goal he set for the team ahead of next season. So before the break, I asked you, would you be shocked? Do you think the Spurs fan base would be shocked if the team actually does get a playoff spot? What do you think?
I think for the most part, fans are keeping that expectation kind of on the back burner, saying, you know what, maybe it happens. So, but I think either way, we would all be shocked. I mean, to go from only winning, 20 games, 22 games that season to, I mean, you would have to win 42 plus to make it into the playoffs. So making a 20 game win jump would be crazy, but you just got to wait and see what happens. Me personally, I have that hope that it does happen. I'm hoping that we do make a playoff run, whether it's, is it going to be a play-in or are we going to be locked into one of those top
Yeah.
6 spots? But either which way, I think if we make the playoffs, that is a huge win for the silver and black. In year one.
I know it'll probably shut up certain fans. We'll talk about them in a bit if that were to happen. Another reason why you should pull for them. But the reason why I would not be surprised if they were to make it is because let's rewind the tape. Last season, we know what they were doing. They were losing, crafty in a crafty way to get their odds up to get Wemby. So let's just say they weren't. I believe last season's team was not reflective of the 22 wins. I think I got them maybe winning like middle 30s. Okay.
Yeah, for
now
sure.
you add in Wemby, you add in a season last year of them just getting trounced and getting that experience and heavy NBA minutes. None of this G League back and forth from Austin stuff. So you add that, you couple it with Wemby, as I mentioned. I think the defense alone, I'm expecting them to get way better next season. And you have certain things that are happening around them. You have Ja Morant and the Grizzlies, what they're going through. Okay, well, maybe that softens the division a little bit. You got Zion. What's up with him? Is he going to be back? Well, Luka and Kyrie Irving, that pairing work in Dallas. We know the usuals are going to be there. Your Denvers are going to be there. Golden State is going to be there. The Clippers, is Kawhi and Paul George finally going to play together? Is Kawhi going to play?
How many games, right?
Exactly. So, if anything, I think the path to a playoff spot would be through the play-in tournament.
Right.
They would have to get there. And to get a play-in spot in the West, last year it just took something like high 30s wins to get there, like 36, 37, 38. The Spurs can do that. And I think that will be their path. So, and that's how I don't think they will win out a 1-6. I don't think they'll it's at the end of the day. Let's assess who has slots 1-6. That would be a tremendous leap for them to do that. But I would not be surprised, Chris, if they do well in the play-in and sneak in at a 7 or 8. What do you think?
Yeah, definitely. Like you said, Ja Morant is going to be out, 20-plus games. You don't know what's going on with Zion and the Pelicans. So our division in itself is, to me, I see it as up in the air.
Well, it's one of the weakest. It's the divisions in the league.
I mean, the Rockets are a young squad too. Yeah. So we're both. The Rockets and the Spurs are both young squads. So they're the ones that are going to be battling it out to move up in the division.
Yeah.
But if Ja Morant's out for as many games as he is, if Zion isn't there the way he's supposed to be, and Luka and Kyrie don't click, then the division is, I wouldn't say wide open.
It's close.
It's close. Yeah, it's close to it. So I think we have an opportunity. And like you said, okay, maybe 1-6 is a little bit, too high of a bar.
Yeah.
Yeah. But 7-10, okay, we get in, we get in as a 7 seed. You only got to win one game, right?
Yeah.
And you're locked in.
Yeah.
So we gotta wait and see what happens. But I mean, man, I'm like I said, I'm hoping, for a division win if it can happen. But like you said, 35 to 40 wins, it is doable. Like we know what they did last season.
Yeah.
Vassell was out for so many games. Jeremy was out as well.
Mm-hmm.
There were so many different lineups that you could name off so many, and it was like, what are we doing?
Right. Yeah.
But in reality, we knew what we were doing.
Yeah.
We're, tanking for Wemby, or you got to say wanking, I guess, for Wemby, because you never know when the NBA is listening, right? And we know what they were doing. So it just blows my mind sometimes that some fans are like, oh, well, we weren't good last year. How is one player going to turn it all around? I mean, we weren't good for a reason. It was to to try to get Wemby.
To get those odds up, yeah.
Yeah, and then, the ping pongs fell the way that it fell, and we got them, and now it's, okay, let's get all these guys playing together. Hopefully we see a steady lineup that, clicks, the chemistry is there, and these guys take off, man. I mean, it's not far-fetched, No. It's very possible that this team can win, 36, 37, maybe even more. But, we'll see.
We'll see. Yeah, we'll see. Look, I'm hopeful. I do see a spot attainable, and from there it's roll the dice, man. Just hopefully they get that one team that maybe is not on fire at the right moment. Hopefully the Spurs are clicking at the right moment. So much has to come together. But I would not be surprised if they were to get a 7 or 8 seed through the play-in tournament. So we'll see. We'll see. Hey, during this chat, Chris mentioned about some of the fans and, loving it if he were to see the Spurs make the postseason and other fans kind of maybe having their tail between their legs. We're going to talk about that when we get back. Why are some Spurs fans still bashing this team? I mean, it's not all of them. It's a small pocket of them, but this small pocket seems to not really be on board.
They're chirping. They're chirping a lot.
They're chirping. Yeah, we're going to get Chris's thoughts on that and more right here on Locked On Spurs. But before we do all that, I want to talk to you about Bird Dogs. Look, you got to get your Bird Dogs right now. Bird Dogs make you look good, whether it be their shorts, their sweatpants, or whatever apparel they got at their website. You got to get yourself Bird Dogs right now. Bird Dogs have that stretch khaki shorts and are designed to fit slimmer through the leg and give your leg a little bit more of a sculpted look, like you didn't skip leg day. Bird Dogs will help you have those nice looking legs in no time. Bird Dogs shorts do the exact same thing as Lululemon, but fit way better. They fit way better than regular shorts that are made of a stiff, restricting cotton because Bird Dogs fix that issue by inventing cloud knit fabric that looks just like khaki, but stretches to give you that slimmer fit, that slimmer look, and without having to sacrifice movement at all. They don't restrict you at all. Bird Dog also uses an anti-stink sweat wicking fabric to keep you cool and dry all day. I've used them at the gym already. I got my Bird Dogs, and let me tell you, it feels great to know that I can still move, yet look pretty good at the gym, and knowing that I have the best shorts around via Bird Dogs. Bird Dogs are functional and for any occasion. Yeah, they look like you can just wear them out at the gym. You can wear them out on a nice walk. If you're in a hot temperature state, you can go to the mall with them. Bird Dogs looks very fashionable, whether it be at a golf event, even a date, at the pool, or just lounging around, or even at work. Bird Dogs have you covered. Now, you want to go to birddogs.com right now, and you also get a free gift water bottle with the Bird Dogs logo on it. Let me tell you, I use it at work, and it keeps my drinks cool all day. That ice doesn't melt fast at all, thanks to that Bird Dogs Yeti. Hey, again, go to birddogs.com/LockedOnNBA and a promo code LockedOnNBA at checkout for a free Bird Dogs water bottle with your order. That's birddogs.com/LockedOn for a free water bottle at checkout. You don't want to take your Bird Dogs off, we promise you. And we're back right here on Locked On Spurs, but we cannot forget about our friends over at Mudslingers Drive-Thru Coffee. Mudslingers Drive-Thru Coffee is a proud local coffee spot representing the community and the first local sponsor right here on Locked On Spurs. Now, you're asking, what's Chris doing on here during the ad read? Well, because he's a big fan of Mudslingers.
That's right.
You were there recently, weren't you?
Yeah, man. I stopped by and I got me what I call a Arnold Palmer, a peach Arnold Palmer lemonade espresso with some peach flavor in it. I tell you, man, it gets you going in the morning. Sometimes coffee for me, I'm like, you know what? I need something that's going to kind of hydrate me and get me going as well with the caffeine. Man, that lemonade espresso, though, if you haven't tried it, I recommend you hit up Mudslingers, my mud brother over there, and you give it a shot, man. That drink is good, man.
Absolutely. Good. And Chris, he deals in his job a lot of outdoor work with MCS, and so he goes over there to get, like you said, he gets rehydrated, and that's what's great about Mudslingers. They have a big variety on their menu of drinks. They have the Red Bull infused lightning bolt series. That's basically what Chris is talking about. It's just Red Bull with flavoring, and it'll get you going through your day. It'll power you up. They got the Alien, which is part of that Red Bull infused lightning bolt series. It's a full can of Red Bull, kiwi, apple mixed together, tastes delicious. And by the way, if you can't figure it out, that's in honor of Wembanyama.
That's right.
Also, they have the OG OJ. That was the drink that I helped create. Is basically the old Orange Julius recreated only at Mudslingers Drive-Thru Coffee. They got their signature coffee, which is the Mudslinger. You got to get it here. It's really good. And Chris, also here they got banging mini donuts. Is that correct?
Oh man, those mini donuts, man, bro. I tell you, every time I go, and if I don't get an order, it's not going to be a good day. You hit up Mudslingers, you get your coffee, get your caffeine going, but you got to get those mini donuts. Those mini donuts, man, they just hit the spot every time.
They're really good. A lot of fans and people that go there, they say you got to get those mini donuts. And that's what's good about that menu, as I mentioned. It has variety. They got dairy alternatives. They have low caffeine, low calorie drinks. They got everything you need to power you through the day. And they are located at 2404 Thousand Oaks Drive, open every single day, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Friendly staff. That I tell you, I can't repeat enough. That menu is great, very extensive. You can look at that menu and be like, oh, they got that, they got this, they got that. I mean, and they're like introducing like new flavors every day, practically.
Every day, right?
Yeah,
there's a new drink, and like I said, when I went there, a couple weeks back, and I first got that lemonade espresso with peach, they looked at me and they were like, "Wait, what?" And I was like, "Yeah, get some lemonade, throw some espresso in there, mix it up. It tastes just like sweet tea, with lemonade." And I mean, if you could dream it, they can also make it for you. Yeah, there's great staff overall. They're just great people. Yeah. That's why you gotta support your local coffee shops, man. And
absolutely,
is the one to go to here in town.
Absolutely. Sure. And they got the Sub-Zero. That's their new drink. That's in honor of UTSA's Frank Harris. I hear it's really good, and a lot of people are buying that right now. They're located in the 281, 1604 area. That's the Stone Oak area. You can't miss it. It's a quick drive in and out. They get you in, they get you out, and they get you a delicious drink. Over 300 5-star reviews cannot be wrong. You got to go to Mudslingers Drive-Thru Coffee, 2404 Thousand Oaks Drive if you're in San Antonio. You can find them on TikTok, Twitter, or X now, Threads, Facebook. Pick a platform. You'll find Mudslingers Drive-Thru Coffee at Mudslinger SATX. Life is too short for bland coffee. All right, let's wrap up this episode or fan episode with Chris Leija. And this is where Chris has been chopping at the bit a bit because if you haven't noticed on social media, there's a segment of Spurs fans that constantly are kind of bashing the team and not good enough. And Wemby, he might be exiting or the front office is not doing this. And who's trusting this roster and whatnot.
Right.
Chris, as much as the excitement is in the city or globally because the WNBA era is about to begin,
right?
Why are there still fans that still are not believers in bashing the silver and black?
I don't know, man. I ask, how can you be a fan and bash the team the way you're bashing them?
Yeah.
I mean, it's some of these guys expect for the front office to be making all sorts of deals right now.
Yeah.
I mean, anybody that gets put on the trade block, it's automatically, the Spurs got to get him. Spurs got to get him. We'll give up whatever picks you have to give up whatever players. This player isn't good enough. That player isn't good enough. And I'm thinking to myself, guys, we're not going to give this any time whatsoever. I mean, we trust.
Or not Chris, not the fact too that I think the Pop and Brian Wright and everybody's been saying we're gonna be seeing how it goes first.
Yeah, you got to give it time. You can't just say, blow up the entire team and then bring in all these new players for Wemby. It's like, how do you know that's going to work? But according to them, that's going to work. But the current roster with Wemby, there's no way this team's going to be good. And it's just frustrating, man, because the way I see it is as Spurs fans, we were spoiled, right? We had Robinson and we had Duncan. Mm-hmm. And those Duncan years, I mean, they were the best years for a fan base. Any fan base could have, right? And, we had, our hiccups. And, some players left and some players decided they didn't want to be here anymore. So they got shipped off. Right. And that apparently means the front office doesn't know what they're doing because if they're not happy, the front office is doing a bad job. And to me, it's like, man, there's times where people, right. You got to remember, these are human beings, right? They're not just athletes. They just don't want to be in a certain spot anymore. It's like me when I left the company I was previously at before. I was just like, all right, I don't want to be here anymore. They weren't going to keep me. So they were like, okay, go, bye. And that's the way it is sometimes. It's a cutthroat business, right?
Yeah.
You come and you go. But this whole hatred and bashing of Pop in the front office, man, I'm just over it. As if we didn't just have all these great years of Pop doing what he's been doing and RC doing what he did to get the team to where we were at. And apparently we can only have Wemby and the Spurs work if it's all free agents coming in or trades happening. Apparently we could no longer, draft and build these guys up to be great. Apparently that's out of the window now. I don't know when that happened, how that happened, but we had some bad, picks, that happened. It's understandable. I mean, we can't shoot.
Right. you can't build a dream team in San
Yeah.
Antonio. I mean, look, every franchise in just sports in general goes through ups and downs and rebuilds and bottoming out. That's just the nature of it. And the Spurs bottomed out, but now they're on the incline. And here's the thing too. I understand a part of that. I want to say we said we're calling it bashing, but
frustration,
but I get a little bit, and I understand fans expecting their favorite team to do the best, and I get that. I totally understand that, and I understand if I'm making this up, if Spurs fans were to boo the team next season if they played like what, I would understand that, because, but then there's that, and then there's just they can do nothing right. Exactly. And I like to bring up the example of Brian Wright. Remember how everybody was like, "Who's this guy? Who's this guy? Oh, he stinks. Get him out. Get him out."
For a minute, we didn't think he existed for a minute.
He didn't exist, but now you fast forward to today, and guess what?
Right.
He's been the architect of this path that the Spurs are going through, and guess what? It's kind of looking good. He's looking like he was doing the right thing, and I think that's the same thing with the roster now, and including Brian Wright and the team.
Right.
Don't jump the gun quick. Let's play it out. Now, if the Spurs team plays it out and it was the wrong decision to not make these moves, okay, well then guess what? Maybe they should have done that. But as of this recording today, you got to give it time, Chris.
Yeah. So the way I see it is when have the Spurs really traded for big names, right?
Yeah.
It feels like it never really has happened.
You can probably count them in your hand, like maybe Rodman was one, Rodman thing, but been very few,
Exactly. And that always worked. I mean, it worked for such a long period of time, and then now it's an issue. The way I see it is how many teams in the NBA are truly gonna pick up the phone, right? It's the Spurs calling, and they're like, "Hey, we want Damian Lillard," right? Example. You think the Trailblazers are going to be super excited to be like, yeah, go ahead, take our all-star point guard and give them away for cheap? No, they're going to demand a ton of picks and players.
And everybody knows the Spurs have a ton of picks and a lot of money and flippable players. Right. So they're going to try to get over on San Antonio.
Exactly. They see the stack of picks that we have because, I mean, we have a ton. And they're going to want them all. They're going to want to take all of them. And where does that leave the Spurs then after that, right? We bring in a Damian Lillard, and then we get rid of 2-3 players. You can name whoever you want, right? Because, everybody is tradable at this point, right? Except Wemby. So you trade away whoever you want. You trade up 3 players, and let's say you give up 5, 6 picks. Or I think the max is 5 picks. You give that up, and then what? What if Damian Lillard and Wemby don't click?
Yeah. So they won basketball.
Then we gave up 3 players and all these picks for what? Right. Let's just like you say, pump the brakes and let's see what happens.
Exactly.
Right. We know the Spurs can make a trade before the trade deadline. You never know what could happen. It's going to be a long season. Be patient. I just don't. I mean, I'm gonna trust Pop and the front office, and I may be called a sheep for that because I'm blinded to all the mistakes they make. But it's just, hey, trust them and what they're doing and let it ride. And if after the year's up, we don't see this team succeeding the way we want to, then okay, get mad. But how are you going to get mad before the season even starts, man? Like, just give it time. Be patient. We're going to be all right.
Wasn't there like a segment of Spurs fans that were already, kind of getting on the team about how they'll never get a Wemby, and then the Spurs got Wemby? Yeah. Like, I think there was like that. Yeah. And then like they were eating crow for a bit, but then now they're on this thing now. So
they went from tanking is terrible. It's a dumb idea. So, we got Wemby though. It worked. And now we demand that Wemby gets surrounded by all-stars. It's like, okay, hold on, time out. Let's go day by day, week by week, and game after game. And then we'll see what happens. Don't just think it's going to happen overnight. If that was the case, then every team would be great. You think the Warriors, Warrior fans weren't pissed that it took them so long for them to be good? They drafted
It took a while.
They built them up. And I'm not saying – so we never knew we never know what a player is going to be until they make it into the league. They have a few years, they have their ups and downs, and then eventually they get the ball going and they become great players, But because Wemby came in with this title of the greatest franchise player, the greatest athlete to ever come into a sport, people just are automatically on this train of we have to do it now. Because if we don't put players around him and we don't win championships, he's going to leave after his rookie contract. I don't see Wemby being that type of player, that type of person. I think he sees it as, okay, you know what, this might take a couple years. You know, if we're winning games, and let's say we're having winning seasons, right, making a little bit of a playoff run, why would he leave? Why would he take a chance to go somewhere else and restart that up again?
Yeah.
You know, I truly believe he is that kind of player where he's going to be patient. You know, obviously he wants to succeed. All players that come into the league want to win championships. That is the goal in the NBA, right? Or any sport, is to win championships. So we just gotta relax, man, and let it be.
Chill. Yeah,
it's chill.
Yeah. Well, again, if you want to see all those fireworks, just go to social media and you'll see it. You'll see
X and you'll see it all.
Just go to the X, and Chris is in there fighting too, man. So he's laying it down. Man. Hey, Chris, before I let you go, before we hit record, you were talking about you want to announce to the fans about a contest that you, Mudslingers, and then Bear County Apparel, and another person, I forget it, but you're going to give us the details right now. What's going on? Oh, tell the fan base just what you got cooking.
Yeah, man. So MCS and Mudslingers, Bear County Social Apparel, and Castro and Son Solar, we're getting together and we're trying to put you can call it kind of a Spurs Twitter giveaway for the fans, for our supporters that support us every day, whether it's a retweet, whether it's a like. For Mudslingers, it's them stopping by for some coffee. For Bear County, it's them buying shirts. For me, it's just helping me grow our business. So we want to give basically a thank you to the social medias, and we're looking at giving away some stuff, possibly some shirts, hats. We're still working on it, trying to get together, but hopefully we can get it all worked out, and hopefully right before the season starts, or right, when that opening day is, we can, put it out there and get ourselves a winner, man. All we're trying to do is just support each other. Small businesses got to stick together. Yeah. And help each other keep growing, man. That's what it's all about, man. That's why you'll see me retweeting everybody, from Bear County, Mudslingers, Camcheco, all these guys that are on Twitter that are doing their thing, working hard. It's a hustle, man. And instead of bringing each other down, let's bring each other up. Yeah. So that's what we're doing. That's what we've been talking about for a couple of weeks now. So we're hopefully getting everything worked out, ironed out, and look out, man. There's going to be a little bit of a giveaway coming up soon, and we'll put all the details on the X Twitter. So I can't call it X.
Yeah, I know. I'm still stuck with that. I still call it Twitter, but it's called the X. Even when I do write-ups for Ken's 5, like when I do my writing for the Spurs thing, I have to put on their X, formerly known as. It's like Prince, the artist formerly known as Prince. X, the platform formerly known as Twitter. But you're talking about like supporting and everything, the small businesses. But I heard that Clayface is coming at you guys. Like he wants to like prove to San Antonio that clay is better than concrete, and that he's coming at MCS. How can fans follow MCS to see your battle with Clayface?
Yeah, man. So you can look us up, MCS General Contracting. We're on Twitter. We're on Facebook, Instagram. We're not on Threads. We're still, I mean, it's just so many social media.
Yeah, there's a lot, yeah.
I mean, could you imagine if we're still doing MySpace? I'd be throwing out MySpace out there too. But yeah, you can look us up and you'll see our videos, pictures of all the work we're doing. We do a lot of concrete work around the city of San Antonio, up in Bernie.
Are y'all smacking up Clayface though, even though he's coming at you guys?
Every day, bro, every day. Even when it was 8 degrees outside. That guy just can't compete, man. Just can't compete. I saw him melting under a tree. I was like, come on, guy. You're supposed to. I thought you were big and strong, Yeah. I mean, come on, get it together. But
proving that the concrete, that MCS concrete is better than clay. That's where you got to go to MCS General Contracting right now. Chris, I want to thank you for repping the fan base once again here on Locked On Spurs. Great points. And if you want to agree with Chris or disagree with him, or maybe let the hands start flying up.
You can come at him. It's all good.
Let him know there. You see his Twitter or his X handle now at Leija3. Make sure you give him a follow right now. And we thank you for making Locked On Spurs your first listen each and every day. Free and available everywhere. The Ken's 5 Plus app, YouTube, Spotify, we are just part of the Locked On Podcast Network. There's not a platform out there where you cannot find this show and the rest of the Locked On podcast shows, from Locked On Celtics to Locked On Bulls. Locked On Rockets might be coming on soon. Might be coming on Locked On Spurs soon. I wonder why. Gee, I wonder why.
I'll be at that second game, so I'm excited to see if their fans are going to be chirping up there at the Frost. Sorry, see?
Yeah.
I can call it AT&T. Man, I gotta get this all figured out.
It's a new season. Everybody's gonna get the rust out. Everybody's gonna get the rust out soon. But we'll be back again tomorrow. I think, as of right now, I think Locked On Rockets host, they are coming in. So if not, we'll have an episode for you covering all things silver and black. But for Chris Leija, I am Jeff Garcia. We're gonna put a lock on this fan episode of Locked On Spurs.